Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me again. Does anybody out there like jigsaw puzzles? Now, I know that they're very popular. I know that the patience involved in doing them, particularly ones with many pieces, is a virtue. And it's certainly not my intention to criticise anybody who does enjoy them. But I have to confess that I cannot get my head around the reason for a jigsaw puzzle. I can remember disliking them even as quite a small child. People give you simple puzzles when you're small, and there is an expectation that you will put the picture together and then you will take it apart and do it again. And I could never see why anybody would want to put a picture together and then take it apart and do it again. As I was doodling in my journal the other day, and that's not a bad habit, it is just the way that I journal, I found myself drawing jigsaw puzzle piece shapes in different colours and sizes that would definitely not fit together. I had been deep in thought, wondering how some of the things that are part of the world at the moment actually fit together. So, if you look at the news today, the top news story on the BBC website this afternoon is about the hope that lockdown restrictions will be lifted enough over Christmas, if only for a few days, that families will be able to spend time together. And for a lot of people, that matters a great deal. In my house last Christmas, we had a huge family Christmas. It was chaos. It was great fun. But if we'd been planning to do that this year instead of last year, I know that all of us who were part of that would be very sad at the idea it might not be possible. But then elsewhere on the news, I read about the situation in Ethiopia and the hundreds of innocent people that have been killed in violent clashes during the last couple of weeks. And I wonder, if those two things were part of a jigsaw puzzle, how do they fit together to be part of the same picture? And it works just in ordinary everyday life too. So last night, I signed an online petition calling on Boris Johnson to take real action on the climate emergency. As a lot of you already know, it's something that I'm passionate about. And during lockdown, signing petitions, sending emails, electronic protest is what is possible. But earlier yesterday afternoon, I had gone shopping. And because of what was wanted in the house, I had to buy things that were wrapped in single-use plastic, something I do try to avoid, but seemed to be unavoidable yesterday. If those two things were part of a jigsaw puzzle, how do they fit together to be part of the same picture? A long time ago, an elderly relative of mine, long since dead now, wanted a canaletto. Canaletto, in case you don't know, was a Venetian artist in the 18th century who painted very large and incredibly detailed views of his native city, Venice. One of his paintings sold for more than $20 million. And so the possibility of my elderly relative ever having one of her own was nil. This elderly relative was also into jigsaw puzzles. And so she bought a canaletto puzzle. It had many, many tiny pieces, and I seem to remember it took quite a long time to put together. But eventually she finished it, and rather than take it apart again and put it back in the box, she stuck it onto some backing, put it in a frame and hung it on the wall. And there was her canaletto, a picture that made sense. When the pieces were in the box and when they were spread all over the table, it seemed unlikely that they would ever come together in something that made sense. But they did, as the creator of the puzzle had known they would. So maybe I don't need to worry about how the puzzle pieces of my life fit together, or how the puzzle pieces of the world fit together. All I have to do is trust in the fact that the creator, the one who I would call God, does know. Simple, maybe. So, as ever, I'm going to finish off with a prayer. And as ever, if you'd like to make it your prayer, feel free to stick an amen or a comment in the box. Creator God, When the things that we see happening in the world and in our own lives don't seem to make sense or fit together, help us to put our trust in you and to believe that you do know, and that one day we will see more clearly than we do now. Amen. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow, I hope. Bye for now.